This episode is sponsored by Southern House Buyers. Sell with ease. Get paid with speed. Choose Southern House Buyers.
All right, so welcome to another episode of Masterminds with James Allen. He is I, and I am him. Man, today we got big business, man. I'm talking about, a very, very special guest, man. I'm excited to have this young brother with me, man. It's been some time in the making. You know, we had to do some rescheduling and some navigating everybody's schedules, but man, this brother's super busy. So, man, I'm just honored and glad to have this person on on the podcast and really drop some gems and kick game to us. Man, before we dive into it, bro, let me just go ahead and get this intro. I'm gonna keep it light, and then we can just dive into it, man. So, this gentleman here is a serial entrepreneur out of Mo City, Missouri City, here in Houston, Texas, and co-founder and CEO of Good Feeling Hemp, and he is also co-owner and COO of the New Black Wall Street. I'm talking a lot of alphabets behind this brother's name. A lot of them respect it, and then man, he's also the host of Great Minds Mondays with Martel Matthews, and so with that, if you don't know by now, we are talking to the one, the only Martel Matthews. What up, bro? How you feeling, man?
Man. What's up, James? How you doing, brother? I'm very happy to be on the podcast. When it comes to masterminding, it is one of the most important things we can do. And one of the ways that I got successful was really with masterminding and using that leverage to network. So I'm doing good today. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. And man, I'm really excited to talk to you because what I didn't talk about in the intro is just your significant experience within the entrepreneurial space, the things you've done, the things you are doing, and what you got going on. And I mean, and you've even talked to it there about your masterminds and your experience, man. So I'm just excited to hear what you got going on, bro. And I mean, I see it on the chest. I see you repping the logo and the brand, and I mean, you're the CEO behind it, man. So let's talk about Good Feeling Hemp, man. Like, tell us a little bit more about that.
Most definitely. So before I even get into Good Feeling Hemp, I want to take you back a little bit, right? About like
Let's
how
go.
I grew up and what got me here, James. Because I think it all makes sense to put it in context, right? So growing up in
Okay.
Missouri City, Texas, Mo City, Texas, my mom was disabled. So from the fourth grade all the way up to my senior year, I had a mom who had ALS, the Lou Gehrig disease, where everyone was doing the ice bucket challenge. So my mom actually had that disease. So I went from having to just be a kid to cooking our food, brushing her teeth, brushing my teeth, picking her up, taking her to the restroom, taking her back every single day, right? It was 7 days a week where I went from, being able to be a normal kid to then it's in the fourth grade and it's just me and a disabled mother. And I started driving in sixth and seventh grade. I was driving to Missouri City, driving the Hot Tower, still playing football. I was the first team. I was the first conference all district DN. I played in the two state championships. I played in the Texas All-Star game. I was
Hey,
right doing my thing. Went to play
yeah,
ball at Trinity at in college. So all these different experiences, and the reason I bring them up is because it's the balance between the pain and the joy, right? It's the balance between having to know how to be disciplined while going through adversity, and that's what being a business owner is like, right? That's what creating these big businesses and having vision. You're going to go through adversity. You're going to face things that are going to be difficult. But when you're able to have that vision and that consistency to keep pushing forward and having a positive mindset, which I got learned from my youth because I've been through so many traumatic experiences as a young adult, as a teenager, as a kid, and just had to continue to look positive to get me to where I'm at now, right? So I bring that story up because now in 2023, being 29 years old and being the CEO of Good Feeling Hemp, and which is the company raising $1 million right now, as well as the COO of Black Wall Street, which is a company that has over 826,000 followers online, right? It's a
crazy.
pretty
Yep.
big deal. Yeah, it's a pretty big deal, and a lot of it, I give a lot of this to my mom and my dad. Like even though my dad wasn't in my house, he taught me a lot of structure, and my mom taught me just how to keep pushing forward whatever I believe I could do, I can do, right? And to work hard. Like a lot of the youth, I talk to youth all the time and I tell them, listen, you can have these big goals and I want you to. I want you to dream big, but you also need to understand that it comes with work. Not just what looks like posting on Instagram. It's the work when you got to get behind your computer and type out full business plan, full marketing plans. People are not going to do these things for you, especially when you're getting started and you can afford it. You have to develop this content and develop these things all by yourself. So, yeah, it's been one heck of a journey. But for Good Feeling Hemp, we started in 2020 during the pandemic. We're one of the
Okay.
few all Black-owned hemp and CBD companies in America. We're
Hey,
we're fully integrated too, because my co-founder. There we go. Let's get some cheers going. Sorry, I get excited, James. Once I get excited, my brain just gets it going.
go, bro. Hey, it's you. Go. Let's
Yeah,
go.
it's part of the journey, man. But yeah, so one my co-founder is Ian Terry, and I've been blessed and honored to meet Ian and partner with him because he's been working in the cannabis industry for the past 20 years, right? 15 years in Colorado. He actually works with the governor's office out there. At a point in time, he's on the hemp association in the Colorado for helping laws and things that are regulated. So he's been tremendous in manufacturing and producing our products. And I started as a Black-owned company with only 4 product SKUs, right? I had 4 SKUs when I first started. I had a recovery cream that helps with pain, inflammation. You put on your back. I put on my grandmother's knees, right? I had 2 different tincture oils, and then I had my lotion. I mean my salve stick, which is also a recovery product, but you would just rub on your back, on your knees, whenever you have this inflammation, right? So what people don't understand about is that hemp is legal. It became legal in the 2018 when Trump signed the 2018 Farms Act, right? Number two, you can get CBD that doesn't have THC in it. So some people are like, oh, I don't want to get high. You don't have to get high.
Yeah.
This plant, this plant helps our body tremendously, and our community don't know about it. Right now, or it was a statistic done in 2021 that 76% of all CBD was used by Caucasian women, only 10% by African Americans, and only 11% by Hispanic Americans, right? And that was given by the Brightfield Group, which is the largest statistical company when it comes to cannabis in America. So when you look at the stats and when you look at what's happening, the minorities aren't utilizing hemp and CBD products to the fullest extent for a couple of different reasons. But I hypothesize that one is because most of the companies that are in the space are not necessarily marketing to them, right? Because if 80% of consumers are the Caucasian demographic or mainstream demographic, why would you go market to a demographic that's not utilizing the product? And then two, our community has to get educated on it because most of us know someone who's either got incarcerated or got in some type of trouble behind what we call marijuana or weed, right? So we're like, oh no, we can't stay away from that. So once we change our minds and stop looking at marijuana as drugs, but look at cannabis in general, which you have marijuana in hemp as plant-based medicine that we can utilize, that my mom, who passed away from ALS in 2015, my senior year of college, benefited from these products, right? Like my dad is a retired police officer. He would have never used CBD back in the day or Delta 8. He used these gummies. Listen, let me tell you, these Delta 8 gummies, boy, knocked him out. He be knocked out sleep. The rest of him, he a veteran. He retired from the Air Force, did this whole nine. And now he's using a plant-based product to help with sleep and with anxiety and with pain versus having to use all these pharmaceutical drugs that give him additional problems. So that's been good. And that's a little bit of us in a nutshell, how we got here.
Bro, man, you dropped you dropped so much knowledge, man. It's like, where do we go? But it's because first of all, it's the question is like, all right, with so much exposure to our community about these products, but then you're saying, your mom would have benefited from that. But I mean, was it you doing some research? How did you gain that exposure to these products and to this industry?
That's a great question. So the way that I got the information, one of my old college, I mean high school athletes or teammates, his name was JJ Richardson. He played ball at the University of Houston. Then he went and played overseas professional for a while, about 6'8", 6'9", Hooper, right? That's my boy. So
Yeah.
when we connected, and I started a consulting firm at the time called We Trust Consulting right before I got into corporate America. So I was traveling. JJ knew about some of the stuff I was doing. When I graduated Trinity with a marketing degree, I moved to Barcelona, Spain. And so while I was
Oh,
living in
damn.
Barcelona, Spain, I was still running the company. JJ was used to being overseas, working, like playing basketball overseas, right? And we both happened to come back into the States around the same time and got hired at Enterprise. So when I was working at Enterprise, he told me, he was like, man, you know, when it comes to this business stuff, bro, this is what you do. I know you got it. You know, you athlete too, but you got both. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, no,
Yeah, yeah,
it was like same to him. But then he knew Ian Terry, which was my other business partner and co-founder. He was like, I have to link you up with my boy Ian. So me and Ian got on a phone call one night, James, and we just, man, we had that. It was one of those magical moments. You know, when you just like meet somebody and y'all just click.
yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm like, man, I'm the business mind to his science mind. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, but it just made sense. And so after we had the conversation around cannabis and around CBD, I already had done research about it when I was younger because I used to look for Chinese medicine. We used to do acupuncture, then things for my mother to try to help her
Yeah.
with the pain and help her with her nerves because the doctors kept telling us there's nothing, there's no cure for ALS, there's nothing they can do, right? So we just always were looking for things. But when Ian, we had this conversation, I started researching. I just had this. It felt like it was a calling, like it was my purpose. Like to some degree, I saw a woman go through this every single day and have no outlet. And there's people out here who are living in pain, who are suffering, who don't know what outlet they can use, whether it's to help them with pain, with inflammation, with sleep, with all these different things that this hemp plant can do and provide. But they need the education. They need people who look like you and look like me to come tell them and educate them about it, to reshift their mind, right? We have to unlearn to relearn things. A lot of our people are
Yep.
confused. We've been hypnotized with mainstream culture and hypnotized with what people want us to believe because it benefits them for the benefit, right? So now it's time for us to do mastermind conversations like this to get
Yep.
information out and unhypnotize us so we can actually prosper as a people.
Man, salute, bro. And I 1000% agree with you, man. And that kind of leads into my next question, and you've already kind of answered it, getting on different platforms and, speaking with this passion and this energy that you do so well. But like, what are some other ways that we can really get this message out and get the information out to our community? Because like you say, there is a lack of information and knowledge around this, and so how do you plan to go about that and get the company's name and the benefits out there?
Yeah, no, that's another great question, James. So for me, it's a couple of avenues that I plan to use, right? Now, one,
Mhm.
I'm the co-owner of a very, very large brand when it comes to the Black community, which is the new
Yeah.
Black Wall Street. On Instagram, that's blackwall.st. We're going to shout us out, people go follow, right?
Hey,
And
I will put it across. Yeah, I'll put it across.
oh,
I'll
okay,
flash it.
solid.
Yeah.
So that's one way. You utilizing brands such as the Black Wall Street, such as other Black-owned brands that are really pushing information. We are going to create content and edutainment, as I will call it. That's part of what our capital is going to for that we're raising. It's to develop this education, whether it's via reel, via articles, via the app that we're going to develop and release here in quarter 2, God willing, right? So a lot of the things that we're working on is to bring the value because the product base is there, right? Like within for us,
Mhm.
within 18 months of operating, we made about $100,000 in 18 months. That was during the pandemic. We got over 112 different 5-star reviews on Google, which we have right now. And then it was like, okay, cool. We got proof of concept, which anyone who understands what a startup looks like, that's one of the biggest things. Most times people raise money without a proof of concept. So we was able to get some market feedback, and now we're like, the market's here, they want it. Now we're going out and actually entering the market with it. So leveraging relationships, leveraging brands is going to be one of the biggest ways. I do have 2 other curveballs that we're going to do that's going to give us national exposure. I can't say it
Yes.
right now, right? It's too.
We need that mastermind exclusive.
Look, so look, when I come back for the next episode and we already out there doing this, I'll make sure I'll mention it. I'll drop it. Or if y'all want to know, you can go follow me at Martel Matthews or at Good Feeling Hemp and shoot me a DM and say, Martel, how are you getting national exposure? And I'll tell you. But yeah, we got some little mastermind in there we doing, man. That's gonna really blow us up.
I love to hear, bro. I love to hear. I love to hear, man. And so, man, shout out to you and salute to you for all these efforts and what Good Feelings Hemp's got coming down the pipeline. But man, what I'm noticing, bro, as I'm talking to you, so much passion, so much knowledge, and so much. I mean, like the entrepreneurial spirit, you could just see it. It's very evident, as you talk. I mean, was that always there? Because I hear you talk about, your goal. You went through, graduated from college and did corporate America for a little bit. But where did all this entrepreneurial spirit and that come from?
I think it came from growing up struggling, to be honest with you, man. I think that
Facts.
growing up without a lot of money, growing up without a lot of, like I tell people, man, I walk in different circles in corporate America and all these different places where they think I come from money. They think I come from success because my mom taught me and my dad taught me how to have value, but I don't even have money. You know what I'm saying? So I got integrity and I got values about myself, and I know how to carry myself with a level of integrity. But growing up, man, we just didn't have that bread like that. So for me, I always knew like, hey, if I don't change my family trajectory in my mind, it wasn't gonna happen. And I was like this young, like thinking about like from fifth grade, selling candy. Matter of fact, I'll give you a little story. So when I was in
Yep.
fourth grade, I got called to the principal office, right? I walked in. I'm a good kid, so I didn't get in trouble like that. So I was already like, why is the principal calling me, right? So I walked
Yeah.
into the principal office. I see my mom sitting there, and they're like, yeah, Miss Matthews, so Martel apparently has not only been selling candy at the school, he started a whole organization where he has other kids selling candy for him. And the only reason we found out is because I think it was Ariel. One of the students named Ariel called mom.
Oh man, call the name.
Yeah, said, why did her a daughter come home with $7? Now, when you're young, if your parents ain't give you no money and you got money, like, why you got money? Well, I would give them chips and eggs and candy. I would front them the money, the product. They would sell it for me. At the end of the day, I would just give them the profit and I would keep half, and then I would go home and sell candy. So I got in trouble at Hunters Glen Elementary for having other kids selling candy for me. They told me I couldn't sell at school no more, so I started selling on the way home. And that's been my like that's always it. If you tell me I can't do something, okay, well, how can I do it, right? That's been my entrepreneurial journey.
Absolutely.
You know, that same mind of hustle and grind, that's been it.
Yeah. Yeah. And shout out to Ariel. You should have stayed solid. Shame on you for snitching on Martel when he was getting his business off the ground, Ariel.
Right,
You
right.
could have been. Nah, but no, man, that's what's up, man. And so, and I did hear you mention about the being in Spain, bro. I mean, what brought you to Spain and living overseas for a little bit after was it right after college? Did you just take a job
Yeah,
over there?
man.
Tell me a story about that.
So I actually graduated the best way you can ever finish school, right? I had 7 credits left, and I went and talked to the dean of my university, and I was like, "Hey, listen, I really always wanted to go out the country. I've never been out the country till this point." And I was like, "I've researched this, and I see that the 7 credits I need, if I take them out of the country, I will still get my credits." And usually at a university, they won't allow you to do that for the last credits you need, you know? But networking and masterminding, I was able to masterminding, just go ask. Worst thing they can say is no. I asked the question
Right.
and they told me, they was like, yo, we can, you can do it. I'll approve for you to take your last courses in Barcelona. So I moved out there in 2016, man. I'm like, look, I stayed with a host family who only spoke, well, the host mom spoke Spanish. The host dad, who was so Barcelona is in the province of Catalonia, right? So they speak a language called Catalan. So Catalonia would be equivalent to Texas, but then Houston would be equivalent to Barcelona, right? So Catalan, it was like we spoke Texan, right? But we don't, we just speak English and it's Texan. But so the dad spoke Catalan, and I could barely understand anything he was saying. I already didn't speak Spanish, but that's what got me over there. I just wanted to explore the world, wanted to see other things, and I love to travel. Now, now I've been to Mexico, I've been to the DR, I've been to other different places, but I love traveling because when you get out of the box of where you live, whether it's to another state or whether it's international, it opens up your mind and it gives you a level of gratitude that helps you manifest everything else in your life into instant manifestation, right? Because gratitude is like the strongest feeling or emotion that you can really use when you're trying to manifest things and when you're trying to will things into existence. Your will is very strong. God gave us that will, right? But at the same time, your feelings are what produce your will into reality. You have a lot of people who write manifestations or they have affirmations and they say they affirmations every day. I do those type of things as well. But the true key, the true secret to those manifestations is allowing yourself to feel that way. You have to feel
Yep.
great. You have to feel that energy. And a lot of the times, if you do the same cycle of wake up, get the kids ready, go to work, come back home, wake up, get the kids ready, work, go to, if you do that same cycle and you never break it, you never put a wrinkle into the matrix, it's hard to change your mindset. So that's what made me want to go to Barcelona. I wanted to change my scenery. I wanted to change my mindset, and it helped because I definitely got a different perspective after I lived out the country for a little bit.
And how long were you over there?
I was there for about 4 months, so
Okay.
not
No,
not too long enough. Yeah, yeah,
long enough.
long
Yeah, yeah,
enough.
yeah. For sure, for sure. Nah, man, and but sorry, I just wanted to ask about that. But yeah, well, you said something super important as you talk about um the gratitude and the the manifestation affirmations and what you're saying there about seeing yourself or feeling yourself. Not everyone can get out to a Barcelona or wherever they need to go or want to travel to at that point in time, but you can practice visualization and so I was just curious. Have you ever read the book Miracle Morning? Have you read that book?
No, I haven't read that one.
Oh, okay. Because what you're talking about is completely that whole routine. It's as you get up in the morning, there's silence, um, affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and journaling. And the silence is where you can pray and meditate and do all these types of things. And so that's why I was just really curious because a lot of what you're saying is truly important, and I practice that as well. I mean. First thing I do when I wake up is gratitude for something. I'm just thinking about whatever, being thankful, starting my day with gratitude and prayer. And it definitely, you're right. It 1000% helps us, calibrate your mindset. So now, shout out to you, bro. Damn,
Thank
you
you.
are getting it at 29, bro. I wish I knew that all that at 29 for sure, for sure, for sure. Nah, man. So yeah, let's come on, let me take a break here.
I have one more thing too about the
Go for it.
morning. Then I do
Yep.
want to I'll talk about the mastermind too. But one thing about my
Yep.
mornings that I've learned, I do two things almost. I want to say every morning, but probably realistically 5 out of 7 days a week. I do these two things every single morning. I meditate, and when I say meditation, the main key that I realize the most important part of meditation is the breathing. So
Mhm.
just sitting down and thinking is great, but actually practicing your breaths and how you breathe first. One of the techniques that I practice is I'll breathe in for 7 counts, like then I'll hold my nostril for 7 counts, then I'll hold it in for 7 counts, and then I'll release for 7 counts. So practicing breathing, holding, then hold, then releasing, or breathing, holding one in, then you do the other nostril, other end. Just sit there and practice how you let breath flow through your body, flow through your actual being. It actually gives you energy. It grounds you, it gives you energy, and it helps you think and focus. And for people who have super active minds like myself, thinking or sitting down just to try to meditate can be difficult sometimes, because your brain keeps
Yeah.
going. But setting a timer, like it doesn't have to be long, bro. Consistency is where it comes in. So even if you did it for 5 minutes, right, for 7 minutes,
Yeah.
I like to play with certain number 7, 9 minutes, however you do it. Doing it for that amount of time is all you need to get 3 minutes A minute, 1 minute. Most people don't do things just consistently at all. So doing something consistent for a small amount of time will get you so far. And then the next thing that I want, especially black men to get into, but also black women in our generation in general, is yoga. Yoga is great for your body. It's great for alignment. It's great for breathing as well. So when you do yoga as a daily practice, I lift weights, I run, I do other things to stay fit. But that yoga fitness, that yoga groundingness of doing that every day is what I've seen help my business more than anything else. Going to lift weights,
How so?
that's cool. Because for some reason, or then it's just me, right? But for some reason, the days that I do yoga every single morning, it seems like I got to start my day at my pace. The days where I just have to go and be on the move, it's like my day doesn't get started on my pace. My day's on everybody else's time. But when I do
Mm,
yoga, breathing techniques before my day even gets started, I'm moving at my pace throughout that day. And part of being creative and part of being a high performing individual is learning how to get into flow. And when you find that flow state, we all have done it. Sometimes you may do it when you're playing basketball. Sometimes you may do it when you were just having fun with your family and the kids. You just look up at time, just like when you're like, damn, what time though? You were living in flow. You were in that flow state. Well, when you can do that in business and you find a way to get into flow, you become 10 times more effective and you get more things done in the same amount of time that you would maybe 2 days. You can get that done in a day. You can cram these deep things in, you know? And so, but that's
yeah.
all being in flow. And also using pomodoros. That's another technique that I do a lot.
Hold on, because you speeding through it. You speeding through it, so we gotta go back. Wait a damn
Yeah,
minute.
my bad.
Nah,
A lot of
yeah, yeah. So going back to because there's a lot of people out here, because all this stuff is very helpful, right, Martel? But a lot of people do not know how to get started, and so you did say some cool stuff and give for a beginner starting the breathing techniques and meditation and working on that. So, but I'm just saying, all right, for me, because hell, I'm gonna try this tomorrow or this evening. So breathe in 7 count. You said hold for 7 count, or am I exhaling and blowing out one nostril on the 7 count?
So you hold for 7 counts. So it'll be
Okay,
like,
hold.
so you
So
breathe.
why would I hold? Why would I hold my nostril and hold? What does that do?
Because when you breathe out, all the air is coming out
So
your
I am
throat.
breathing. So I am
Yeah,
breathing
yeah,
out.
sorry. You are breathing out of one. All
Okay.
right, let's do it. I'll do a lot with camera. So let's say if I was to do
Yeah.
a full 7 up, I would go.
Got you. Got you. Got you. Got you.
So now you
And
are
and
and I was gonna say the reason why that part is important. As you breathe in, and when you circulate the actual the your breath out of both sides of your nostrils, which also activate both sides of your brain, and you'll feel it. Like you
mm,
will feel your brain like as you're holding, especially if you're not used to this, you're like you're not gonna choke. You know what I'm saying? You'll start feeling like, oh man, I'm holding my breath for long, like something gonna happen because you're not used to breathing properly, using your whole diaphragm to breathe and actually hold oxygen inside. Marines and people do this when they start learning how to swim at a high level as well, because it helps you stay calm under pressure and keep your mind at a balanced state.
dope. And then the yoga. So if somebody wants to try yoga but doesn't know how or what to do or where to get started, what's some tips on somebody to get started with yoga at the house? How can they do that?
So the best thing that I would tell you to do at the house is one, get your yoga mat. If you don't have it, it's only about 15 bucks, 10 bucks. It's good to have a yoga mat. It helps while you do it. But then utilize YouTube. I do yoga via YouTube every single morning. And you can type in just regular yoga. You can type in yoga for man. There's one dude named Flo, yoga and Flow. Him and his wife got some things on there. So it's you if you go on YouTube and pull your computer, you can use your phone, you can use your TV, right? I started doing it at home a lot during the pandemic, and that's when I started doing a lot of
Mhm.
YouTube, yoga flows. Because for me, it's hard for me personally just to do yoga by myself for 10 minutes. After about 2 minutes, I'm like, what I'm supposed to do next. You know what I'm saying? Like I've got better now because I do it so often, to be honest. But even still,
Yeah.
I just follow along with an instructor because it makes it easier. So do YouTube if you've
Yeah.
ever done yoga before. If you want to do it in person and you're out, if you're in Texas or Houston, I would say try Black Swan Yoga. They're free. You can go to Black Swan Yoga for free. It's donation based, so you can go in there, donate $5, $10, and do a whole yoga session there as well. So those are
So
two places to
yeah,
start.
man, great tips, great tips. Yeah, we started doing yoga with my wife a little bit, and during the pandemic as well. And I was like, oh man, this yoga stuff, man, this gonna be easy.
Yeah.
Shit is not easy, man. It is not easy. I was like, okay. I had a whole other respect for yoga, man. But it's definitely something that I would like to bring back into the routine because just being as you know, getting older and being flexible and in your joints and all that kind of stuff is definitely something you want to keep active. So, nah, bro, good tips, man. Good tips, man. For sure.
I appreciate it. And James, I do want to ask you, can I talk a little bit about Black equity and how important it is?
Bro, it is your world. You want to talk? Yeah, let's get it, man. So when you say black equity, what are we talking about, man? Break it down for us.
All right, so I'm gonna start selfishly talking about my company, Good Feeling Hemp, for what we have going on right now, right? So
Okay.
right now we have got as a Black-owned company, we're on WeFunder.com. WeFunder is the largest crowdfunding platform in America. Like in America, they're the
Okay.
largest one. And what happens is when you get onto a crowdfunding platform like this, you can allow other people in the regular public to invest into a startup. Now, if you are not on a crowdfunding platform, you have to have something what is called accredited investors invest into into your company. So an accredited investor is someone who has $1 million net worth, not including their first house, or someone who's made 350,000 or more in 2 year time and expects to make that again, right? So
Right.
I mean, and when you're from the Black community, how many of us just know $1 million people? You know what I'm saying? 300
Right.
it's not a lot of us, right? So
Right.
when you're able to leverage though and use platforms such as WeFunder, like right now, we're raising $1 million, we're raising $250,000 on WeFunder and raising the other
Let's get it.
750,000 directly through our company. Now, directly through our company, people can invest 2,500, 5,000 to 50,000 or more, right? Like it's a whole range. But on WeFunder, the bottom line is just $100. So the average person can be able to come and invest into a startup such as Good Feeling Hemp. If they went to WeFunder.com/Good Feeling Hemp, they can actually invest and have shares in our company and what we're going to do, which we will become the largest hemp and CBD company for millennials and minorities in America,
Talk
right?
about it.
Because we know our direction and we know who we're talking to. And so if you're a minority, now I don't care if you're a millennial, if you're a baby boomer, if you're Generation X. My company is directly targeting you and will be bringing you education information. If you're a millennial, which millennials are the highest demographic that utilizes hemp and CBD products, our company will be speaking to you as well, right? And then of course anybody else who falls in line or can benefit, because everybody can benefit from our products, they can come. But as a marketing professional and as a team, you must know who's your target market, who is your customer, what does your dream customer look like. I even have dream investors, right? Because yeah, I'm raising $1 million, and these people who invest in me, they're giving me their money, and it's my responsibility to show them a return on investment, right? But I also want them to be evangelists of my company. I want them to utilize my products. I want them to be able to make money from our products. All of my investors who invest with us, they can make money just for being an investor. They can go connect us to a gym where we give a white label in there and they get a finder's fee or they get a commission. They can connect us to a therapist, right? We've done business with chiropractors. We've done business with massage therapists where we have CBD massage for you. You know, we've done business with gyms that do more like volleyball. So we have a whole bunch of volleyball teens and adults playing today, the leagues and age, you know. So
Yeah.
it's really everlasting when you think about it. But until you know how to go about this hemp and CBD thing, that's what we're here for, to really educate and bringing that back to Black equity. Having equity is what's going to take us once we get stable. Having equity is what's going to take us to generational wealth. So if you own your own business, you need to be thinking about your equity and your cap table. Whether your cap table is just because you're going to get additional investors later down the line, that can be 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. What's your roadway for your business, right? I looked at the Chinese and how they do business, and one of my mentors said, you look at most Chinese companies, they're usually ran by like engineer-minded people. They'll set up a business plan for 100 years out. 100 years. Most of us only think about this year, this quarter, right? And then
Right.
those of us who think beyond that may think about 5 years for a 5 year performer. But how much of us are thinking 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years? Because you should be if your company is going to last, you know? So changing our mindset and thinking about our equity, and then how do we protect that equity by having a proper alignment set up like a trust, whether you get a private irrevocable trust or any type of trust that you have that your business is put into. So when you die, which we all will one day, now your equity as a Black community gets passed down to the next generations without us having to pay that in probate court, right? Chadwick Boseman just passed away about what, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, and he didn't have that was the Chadwick Boseman was the brother who was the Black Panther, and he didn't
He
have
didn't have a will.
he didn't have a will, he didn't have nothing set up. So probate court got a
Yeah.
third, his wife got a third, and I think his mom got a third. Now,
Yeah.
why did they just broke down half a third of that family's wealth, right? And he's never coming back because we didn't have the proper things in place to protect our equity and to protect our wealth. So I'm
Yeah.
really passionate about that for our community.
No, for sure, for sure. And going back to investing, and give me the website one more time for
Yeah,
the
so
crowdfunding.
so the crowdfunding website is WeFunder, WeFunder.good.feeling.hemp. So just if you
Okay.
just go to WeFunder, go to WeFunder.com, WeFunder, and type in Good Feeling Hemp, we'll come up. We're on there. So just go to
Well,
We.
no, yeah, I'm just text me it too because I'll flash it across the screen on the on the visual, and then I'll put it in the description and the notes as well.
Okay.
So if you listen to this, yeah, please go out there and support. But also tell us, as an investor, what is the type of return we can anticipate from this particular investment?
Most definitely. So it's three type of ways that you can get a return on this type of investment, right? One is at the actual sale aspect of the company. So once the company if and when the company will sell, that's when an investor would get a sell off, right? This is simple or similar to what happened with 50 Cent when he invested into vitamin water. Y'all remember
Yep.
when 50 Cent made all that money in vitamin water? So he invested in the company super early, in which is
Right.
good for where we at right now, right? Then when the company sold off, he made his X returns because of the performance. Number two, the second way is if once the shares turn into stocks and pay back dividends. So with profit, like in a profit share type of model, when you would get dividends from the company, and then number three would be at the area where the company could choose to do a buyback. So the company, you had your share, you put in 10,000, you have 10,000 shares at X amount of the market value. We decided we want to buy that back. We usually are going to buy it back at a higher price point than the market value to retain more equity in the business, and then you receive. So the actual return percentage depends on the performance, but those are the three different ways: when the company either sells, when we do a buyback of stocks, or when you get paid out in dividends.
Got you. No, okay. No, that works. That works. But man, I mean, bro, that's got a sorry, got a lot of good things going on, bro. Um, I guess in all those three different ways to get a return, is all that information on the website as well? The
Um,
crowd
on the
website.
crowdfunding, yes, but more so as
Okay.
well as if you go to my Instagram at Martel Matthews and you hit me up directly, I take all of
Okay.
my direct investors through a three-phase process that you
Dope.
get documents. We have a investor disclosure that we'll send you to look at the overview. Then you'll see our finances and everything else. So we got a whole phase that we take everybody through and really get them informed on where their money is going.
Bet, man. Well, let's, yeah, man. And then also too, if someone is just listening and on it, I mean, you went through a great, illustration or discussion about the benefits of the Good Feeling Hemp products, where can we go to get some of these products and check them out? Where can we go?
Great question. Goodfeelinghemp.com. So if you go to
Okay.
goodfeelinghemp.com, that's where you can go to get our products. We're also about to what's this? It's February. So come April, we'll have a brand new website that's launching as well. We'll have new product SKUs getting released. We have some new tastes, some new flavors that we're about to release online. So a lot of fun things are happening in the next 30 days with our business.
Let's get it. Man, we can't get that exclusive drop, but I mean that's all right though. I ain't mad at you, man. You don't want to give that away. I
I
ain't
mean,
mad
look,
at you, bro.
that's how I get you to invite me back on for the second episode.
There you go. There you go.
Tell you how we distribute all over the nation.
Let's get it. Nah, bro. My platform is yours, man. Anytime, bro. Just anytime. So yeah, man. I mean, yeah, we definitely went through you know, the I guess from top to bottom, high level about Good Feeling Hemp. But yeah, I mean, another thing that you're very active in is the new Black Wall Street. You are the COO and co-owner of that. Uh, Man, talk about how you guys got started, and like you said, you have a huge following. Um, I think I was following that way before I even connected it to you and to it. It was just a big movement that we were started following. I mean, like, how did that get started?
Yeah, so Black Wall Street, Black Wall Street, the page started 7 years ago. And
Okay.
the CEO Frank Perkins got that started. He's been posting and just he was ahead of the curve when it came to posting about Black economics and Black empowerment, right? So the Black Wall Street, for the people who don't know the history, just a quick history lesson. In Oklahoma, in Greenwood, Oklahoma, there was a area within Greenwood where basically Black-owned businesses started to get together and all operate with each other, right? So the doctors, the lawyers, the plumber, the milkman, right? Because we had milkmans back then. For all the old kids who don't know nothing about that, but right, yeah. So I mean that's before my time too. Shit, I'm 29, but I still know the history. So all these people was working with each other, and they started to make so much money that when they came into the space, they said, "Oh, damn, this is Black Wall Street. Y'all are making so much money like Wall Street in New York, down here in Oklahoma in the South. How are these Black people making all this money?" So back in the day, they came and they burned 100 different houses. They went and tore it down and started to basically tear down Black Wall Street, white America, right? Which has happened time and time again in America with the history between Blacks and white people in America. So they came and destroyed what we built. They destroyed the Black Wall Street power, and I think they really came to destroy the spirit of Black people.
Absolutely.
Empowering ourselves. And
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah. It was just a further comment on that is like the way we were able to build so much wealth there and prosperity was because like you're saying, we created that ecosystem. I think it was something crazy. The dollar turned over 27 to 29 times within that community before it left the community.
mm,
And if you guys think about how powerful that is, I mean, that's essentially the like what we are talking about, and through your masterminds and through supporting Good Feeling Hemp and supporting Black businesses and putting into the equity, that's essentially what we're trying to do and recreate here now is, instead of going out and buying other things, support your own community and support your own people. And, that is how, we lead to like, supporting and lifting each other up is through that, through those types of efforts. So, nah, man, salute to you there, bro, and what you guys got going on. So so that started 7 years ago. I mean, like, kind of tell us about your affiliation, how you got into it.
yeah. So that part started 7 years ago, right? The Instagram online. Then I actually met Frank as a host to come. He was looking at some of the content that I was posting online. And they got me in to start my show, Great Mind Monday, right? We had a conversation up in Houston.
Hey.
And let me tell y'all about the power of a right conversation at the right time. Listen,
Let's get it.
God will align you to the opportunities that are meant for you when you stay consistent. You don't see it all the time, and you sometimes it takes a lot of sacrifice. It takes a lot of things that the short vision mind of us and the flesh of us can be like, it ain't happening fast enough, God. I'm mad. I'm angry. Why isn't it happening? But if you stay consistent and you just do what you know you're led to do, which is what I was doing at the time, I was being very consistent, very disciplined, creating this content, staying in my proper mind, right? Whether that was reading books, whether that was writing down, whether that was doing just the things that you need to do to change your behaviors and your patterns. Because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different outcome. So if you want a different outcome, you got to change what you're doing. That's what I did. I started to make more content and put it online instead of just doing hand to hand. They saw my content, brought me in for an interview, or not even an interview, just to have a drink and let's talk and see how we connect, right? And with that being said, the level of connection was so in alignment where I went from being a host with a show to become the COO, having shares, and then rebranded a whole new company. Now I'm the co-owner of the new Black Wall Street. So the new Black Wall Street launched in December of 2022. So basically less than 60 days ago, or 90 days ago, we relaunched a brand new company of an already existing tycoon, if you will, right? So now we have more of a team, we have more things developed. We're bringing more resources to the Black community. We got one of my first initiatives as the company COO is our our mastermind group. So we have the Black Empower Mastermind Group. We just launched it January 1st of 2022. So today is November. It's still going. It's still growing. And the whole point of this mastermind group it's a multi-phase purpose, but it's online. It's also in person. We do in-person meetups in Houston. The access for the group is only $9.99 a month to have access. To be a full member is $39.99 a month. That gives you access to all of our events that's online and in person. We have trainings coming out that's going to train entrepreneurs on how to effectively grow a social media brand and how to effectively make sales online, which are two things that a lot of people need help with. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And I'm talking about, listen, this what blew me away, James. I started, we're meeting and I'm talking to all these multi-millionaire entrepreneurs or millionaire individuals who have been successful in corporate America. But the entrepreneur world is a full new world for them. So it's people who would be my life mentors because they may be 50 or 60 and they've done a lot of successful things. But myself as a 10-year entrepreneur, 29-year-old male who's very successful at what I do, I can teach them way more than they can teach me online, but they can still teach me a lot of things too. So that's where the mastermind comes, right? Because now we're leveraging collective genius and we use your genius and use my genius and we use our team to actually help us all grow as a community. And if we do that effectively and those strategies effectively, we can't lose because we're building together, and that's my dream, my purpose.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, that's dope, man. And so, if people wanted to get in touch and tap with that, how would they go about doing that?
So, if you want to become a part of the Black Empower Mastermind Group, you will go to blackwallst.net. Go to blackwallst.net. I know we'll put it on the screen as well, and you can go and become and join the mastermind. Right now it's a 30-day free trial, so we're giving plenty of time for people to get in there with a long trial. Starting April, though, it'll be back to regular, where it'll just be a 3-day trial for you to get in and see what's going on. But this first quarter, we're putting so many plays together for the mastermind group that we wanted you to just come in and be a part of the original, members of the group. And the large goal is I want 144,000 Black people, or people. You don't have to be Black, but you have to understand that we're about empowering the Black community, right? You can be Asian, white, you can be whatever background you are. Because honestly, if it wasn't for a lot of our allies, if you will, as a Black community, we wouldn't be where we are right now, right? John Brown was a white man who helped us with a lot of things when it was coming to getting freedom. So it's not about necessarily just being Black, but you have to understand that we are about the Black empowerment of our people, and we do want to push us forward because we've had a 300-year, not head start. Y'all had a 300-year head start, and we gotta grow and we gotta catch up. So that's what we're trying to do. Or that's what we're going to do.
No doubt. But damn, Martel, I'm just hearing about, man, and salute to you, bro, for all you got going on. I'm just hearing a lot of stuff going on, man. That's like, I mean, how are you staying on top of all of this stuff, man? You got a lot of things going on. It's you wear a lot of different hats, a lot of different responsibilities, man. It's just like, I mean, yeah. For one, how do you stay on top of everything, and how do you stay sane? Is it just a whole bunch of yoga and breathing going on over there?
Nah,
I mean,
look,
what else you got?
look, yoga and breathing don't get everything done. I'll tell you that.
For real,
at,
for
at,
real.
at all. But look, man, a lot of it is my team. My team is really good. I really love
Shout
having
out to the team.
love my team. Shout out to my team on both sides. Also, just a lot of fucking work. You know what I mean? Like I'm up late. I'm working a lot. I'm trying to get more balance. I'm adding that balance to that lifestyle. But the reality is, if you're going to be the best, right? You become Kobe Bryant, you become LeBron James. You look at these people who, Floyd Mayweather. You look at these people who are the best at what they've done in history, right? It was when they were in the zone. Mike Tyson, when he was in the zone back in the day, you were all in. Like, of course, we can try to talk about this balance thing and everything else that we want, and I want that in life. But you're all in when you're really all in, And I'm at a point where I'm kind of grateful at where I'm at in life because at this level, I can be so committed and so full throttle to what I want to do, and without having to compromise too much. I definitely have to make a lot of different sacrifices. But when I look at the big picture, I'm like, is this really a sacrifice? When I look at the big picture of like what this full life look like I well plan to live until my 80s and 90s. You know what I mean? Like I got a lot of life left, right? Like what I can
Yeah.
really do to help our people. I feel like I'm in a unique position that God has put me in, and if I don't capitalize on it, then I wouldn't be doing what I've been put on earth to do, which is to stand and fight. And stand and fight for yourself, fight for your people, fight for what you believe in. You make it happen. It ain't no determination. It ain't maybe. No, it's gonna happen because we gonna make it. It might not be next month, might not be next year, but I bet you it's gonna. I bet you we'll have 144,000 people in our mastermind group. I bet you will
Talk about it.
to success and will elevate. And you know what? You ain't gotta bet me because I bet myself. I'm betting on me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's
Absolutely. Every time.
every time, every time. And then the last thing that I will say that does help me truly, and this is some advice that may help others as well. I have a virtual assistant who's been working for me for a year now, and I hired her out of the Philippines. Her name is Miss Anna. Miss Anna works for me tremendously. She's a wonderful woman. She has a master's degree, and but because she works for me from the Philippines, like the cost is the outlay of our money versus theirs is amazing, right? So as a
Yeah.
startup entrepreneur, I can have an assistant, right, that I pay $6, $7 an hour, which is an amazing conversion rate for her where she lives and supports and provides for her family. And we can help and manage my schedule and things that I need to do. So every Sunday we have a planning session where I have a calendar that I use where I put my 5 goals that I want to accomplish that week. And then once I write out those 5 goals, I write down a sub task for each goal for how do I actually accomplish that goal. And I have a little doc that I do this on, me and her. And then after I write down those 5 goals, I then plan out my calendar for the week so I can actually accomplish those goals and have times that I do these pomodoros, which comes with being very disciplined. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It comes with having to not check your social media every 5 seconds, having to not a call come in, I'll call you back after this 25-minute Pomodoro. It's like,
Facts.
but it makes you super efficient, and it makes you have a better life. Like a lot of times people, oh man, I don't want to be that disciplined. I don't want to calendar in when I'm supposed to eat. Man, when you are operating at this level, it makes myself be able to go so hard where at 7 o'clock I'm done, right? Like my days go to
Yeah.
7. They never go before it. Usually, I'll be honest, usually my day is usually going a lot later, right? But on my calendar, I write my day to end at 7 because I do so much. And if my day end at 7 and I'm done, I genuinely typically can be okay with being done because I did a lot. But every single day I'm meeting people, so sometimes, other things happen that I keep working. But that's what I do. I live off that calendar. And the reason why having an assistant is so important and helpful, and I'll give y'all a little gem. If you want to hire that assistant, I learned this by listening to I was on Clubhouse, and I was in a room with a whole bunch of multimillionaires, and all these multimillionaires was talking about how they operate their business. And this one particular millionaire said that he uses online.ph to find his employees from the Philippines. And I said,
Yep.
I wrote it down, online.ph. And I went on online.ph and I put out applications. And not only is Anna my assistant now, I'm building a whole Filipino workforce. I'm gonna have a staff that handles marketing, that handles content writing. A lot of the things that we do over here, these are professionals just like me, right? Just like you. Traveling the world helped me see that too. Going to Barcelona, living in Spain, going to the DR, going to Mexico. It helps you realize we're all people. We're just living in different countries or different parts of the world. So that can help a lot of startup entrepreneurs have some help and not have to have such a high cost to get that help.
Absolutely, yeah. So the everyday tasks that you do repeatedly that you could offload, yeah, it's definitely good to, like he's saying, reach out to people and leverage that and you know leverage that work to free up more of your time. So it's, yeah, like you're saying, it's going to help you to be a lot more productive and a lot more efficient with your day. So yeah, just if you're doing something over and over and over, and you have that task, or not something, maybe in this case, if someone is good and efficient, you vet them within marketing or some type of branding strategy, and they can help you out. Yeah, definitely. I think so online.ph, and I think Upwork is another good one, to find uh, help in the Philippines. Nah, bro, man, we've already come up to the hour mark, man. But yeah, bro, this has been a great talk. So much more. We definitely gonna have to get part two in here, and hopefully we get that exclusive when we do. But yeah, but yeah, it's man, like I said, it's been a pleasure and honor just to finally get to kick it and rap with you, bro. I mean, like I said, it's been some time in the making, man. Um, but before I get out of here, is there anything that we haven't talked about this far that you wanted to touch on?
Not in particular. I do want to say I want to invite you onto my show as well. I love to
Yes,
have you on
let's
Great
do it.
Minds. I got some really good things coming up with that too. So I want to have you on for the social media of Great Minds, but also have an actual show set in studio. We got some can't all the way talk about another curveball that's coming, but I'm gonna care about that one. And you local? You local here in Texas?
I'm here in the H, man. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm here. I'm here. Yeah, the office right here in the gallery area. I'm here, man. So I'm here.
Okay, yeah, solid. Yeah, so we'll definitely connect on that level. But man, thank you for having me on the Masterminds podcast. It really is a
Yeah,
pleasure.
hold on,
Okay,
Martel. You speed it because
my bad.
because what I a few other things. So every episode I do like to end with asking everyone this question is, when it's all said and done, what does Martel Matthews want to be remembered for?
Oh, great question. When it's all said and done, um, Martel Matthews wants to be remembered for when it's all said and done, helping the Black community in all communities, but specifically putting effort into the Black community globally, connect and find a level of balance and peace so we can elevate and ascend while we're on earth. So that's what I want to be known for helping do. I want to just play my part in God's plan because it's really God's plan, and I'm just a general in His army, and I'm just being used. But that'll be that'll be my claim to fame if I could ever have one, and I would always just say to God be the glory at the end.
Well said, bro. Well said. Well said. And yeah, man. Like I said, I definitely appreciate you coming on here. This has been a great talk. A lot of gems have been dropped, a lot of information. And yeah, we'll go ahead and in the description. And if you're watching this visual on YouTube, we'll put in all this information, all the websites and things where you could tap into Martel and these different ventures and these different efforts. There's a lot of ways that you guys can support and benefit from the things and the ventures and the different programs he's got going on. So please, really check him out and tap in with what he's got going on. And also to Martel, a couple of things came up. I do want to get you on the Masterminds Slack channel. We do have a Slack channel for everyone who's been on the podcast. It's a group of entrepreneurs, so I think it's definitely be cool for you to kick around some of these things because one of my good friends and previous podcast guest, he they literally just launched a VC fund, and focusing on the Southeast. And looking at companies. So I think it'd be really good for you guys. Oh yeah, and the last episode we aired, well, two episodes ago, was the one of the managing partners we spoke to. So I definitely think, it'd be good for you to get you in that room and you guys can collaborate, mastermind, and talk about maybe, if there's any type of alignment there. So, nah, bro, I'm definitely going to do that, man. So, yeah, anything else you got, man, before we get up out of here? I know you got somewhere to go. You got a lot of things to do. So I definitely appreciate your time, brother.
Yeah, no problem. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, that's it. Oh, I will say shout out to my boy Tony Bryan, because that's actually how I learned about the Masterminds podcast. I see my boy Tony B on here, and I was like, yo, what's up? I had to follow, so just got to get
Tony B, my guy,
Yeah,
Tony
yeah,
B.
Tony.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, bro. Well, man, I appreciate it, and we definitely gonna have to follow up with this next episode and tap in with you and see how things have progressed and see what else you guys got going on later on this year. So, man, with that being said, this has been another episode of Masterminds. Please check us out every Thursday for new episodes. You can check us out on YouTube for the visual, or you can listen to us wherever you check out your podcast on all the major platforms. So, until next time, peace.
Peace. Appreciate you.